remember Xena, Warrior Princess, Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, starring Kevin Sorbo. I found this, Hercules and Xena, The Battle from Mount Olympus. Now, this is an animated movie. The voices of Kevin Sorbo and Lucy Lawless as Hercules and Xena, respectively. This came out in 1997. 1997, curiously, was the same year that Disney released their version of Hercules. This movie, Hercules and Xena, basically was made, I think, to capitalize, to cash in on the popularity of the Disney movie, while also trying to get people to watch their TV shows. It even says on the back cover here, it says, starring the voices of Kevin Sorbo as the real Hercules and Lucy Lawless as the only Xena. Okay. Now, when I say this movie tries to capitalize on the success of Disney's Hercules, I'm not kidding. This basically rips that movie right off, but throws in Xena in there as well. And it changes the story of Hercules maybe a little bit more back to the original, legend of Hercules. Whereas in the Disney movie, Hercules is the son of Zeus and Hera, which is not the way that it was traditionally told in mythology. Hercules, in this anyway, is the son of Zeus and Alcmene. She's a mortal woman that Zeus has an affair with, and I guess Disney thought that, well, that's a little, we don't want to be talking about adultery in a kid's movie, so okay, fine, whatever, they changed it. But in this movie, they changed it back, I guess along the lines of how it was in the TV show as well. Must confess, never watched Hercules, The Legendary Journeys. I've seen maybe about 10 minutes of Xena over the years. Just not my cup of tea, these things. But for some reason I decided I wanted to watch this movie. Yeah, it's okay. As far as the animation goes, the animation is decent, I guess. I think it's along the lines of something like DC animated features, like Justice League or Batman the Animated Series, something like that. So the animation's okay. The storyline, well, like I said, is pretty derivative of the Disney film in that someone wants to release the Titans. And your villain in this one, though, is not Hades, like it is in the Disney Hercules. The villain in this one is Hera. Basically, the legend of Hercules is that Zeus and a mortal woman got together, and Hercules is a demigod. In the Disney one, he's just a straight-up god that got lost from Olympus or something like that, and was raised as a human. So in this one, yeah, it's a little more accurate to the myth, and that's great. But Hera in this movie is portrayed as being totally evil, whereas really she's just the jealous wife of cheating dirtbag Zeus. Really. I don't know, instead of sympathizing with her a little bit, maybe, she's just straight up evil. She reminds me a lot of Yzma from Emperor's New Groove, actually. That's how dark and twisted she is, but she's not funny at all. That's the difference. Yeah, so this movie kind of plays along the same lines as the Disney. We get to see Hercules fighting against a bunch of monsters and titans and things like that, just like in that movie. And it's okay here. It's not bad. Hercules is accompanied by his sidekick, Iolaus. Basically, that dude's just there to just laugh at Hercules every time he gets hurt by a monster. That guy's just around, oh, I would have helped, but blah, blah, blah. And he makes some dumb joke, and meanwhile, Hercules doing all the work, and this other guy's just there, really. Xena as well, of course, but she's accompanied by Gabrielle. I actually knew her name because Xena and Gabrielle, their relationship was always, I don't know, controversial in the 90s. And Gabrielle is a little bit more supportive of Xena than this other guy is for Hercules. Anyway, the four of them, I suppose, are involved in this plot of having to go to Mount Olympus and stop the rise of the Titans and I guess defeat Hera. But at first they think it's Zeus is the one doing all this, and then it turns out it's Hera, and Zeus is really just this misunderstood victim that cheated on his wife. For some reason, it's not as epic in scale as the Disney movie. Well, that reason being, I guess, budget and lack of music. Really, there isn't like Hercules. Disney was a musical. This is not a musical. This is more of an action kind of cartoon. Oh, there's an opening number though. Of course, you know, the beginning credits. They kind of tell you the story in the theme song. And exactly like they do in Disney Hercules. It's not as good. The song's not as good, I guess. And the animation is kind of like, well, this isn't Disney, so we know that. And so they kind of play out their version of the story at the very beginning and set things up. But, I mean, you can't help but look at it and think, didn't they do that in the other one? Like, almost exactly like that? Okay, there's some differences, but it's very similar. When it comes to the TV show, never watched it. The Hercules show, that is. Never watched it. I mean, Kevin Sorbo was... they were really pushing that guy to be the next huge star. And I don't know, I just pretty much ignored it when it was on TV. I don't know if there were really very many like effects or anything in that show. Because in this movie he's like fighting monsters all the time and stuff like that, and I guess maybe that kind of thing was going on in the TV show, but it would have been probably pretty bad CGI effects. I don't know. I don't know. And Xena, I mean, watching Xena and Gabrielle and their exploits, I mean, kind of was. I mean, they're both attractive ladies, right? And you know, so I guess I watched a little bit more of that, but in this one, she's pretty kick-ass. I gotta say that. Like, and she's got that, like, she throws like a disc around, super sharp, slashy ring boomerang thing that she throws around, and she has a funniest battle cry too, which is like, ay, 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 ay. Little Gabrielle gets in there and kicks ass too, and they have this big adventure. They go up to Mount Olympus and they confront the gods and try and stop the rise of the Titans. And there you go. I gotta say, it's pretty well put together, to be honest with you. Even though it is a blatant ripoff, it's a lot of action, fantasy action, fighting monsters and gods and things like that. So it actually, I kind of enjoyed watching it, to be 100% honest. I didn't think I would. I thought I was going to have way more stuff to laugh at in this, and so I guess I'm disappointed that it's actually better than I thought it was going to be, because I don't really have that much to say about it, to be honest. It's okay. It's dumb, but it's not as dumb as you would think. I'd probably give this something like a C+. While I did kind of enjoy it, it was brought down a little bit, well, quite a bit, by the Disney Association. Would I watch this again? I don't know, maybe. It's not so bad it's funny or anything like that. There's a few ridiculous things that happen in it, but I didn't really find it that bad. I don't know, Hercules and Xena, should you watch it? I don't know, you like Xena? This is kind of cool if you're a fan of Xena, Warrior Princess, or Hercules, the Legendary Journeys. I mean, imagine there must be some fans out there. Anyway, I hope you enjoy these reviews. Have a good one out there, everybody.